Hey humans,
We're back.
we're back. Don't mind me, I have a face mask on and we were just about to get into bed and I went, we haven't done the live for today with the topic that they gave us. So we thought we'd quickly come down in our pajamas and all and be in our greatest glory. Why not? So today's topic that they gave us was how do you deal with self-doubt? Which is a cool conversation really. I think both of us were like, but I think when we do that, it's a great point for us to actually have a conversation about this.
It's a little bit different with this one because there's 100 ways to skin a cat. And probably none of them are damn well right.
Sorry, vegans.
But there's interesting moments and thoughts I feel like that can start this, and I feel like for me, the biggest part to come back to is balance. Because sometimes you've just got to push through it, and sometimes that self-doubt's there for a reason. So, we were just having a brief chat about it, and I think in a lot of cases, it's great to be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable creates change. Nothing good started in that comfort zone. However, sometimes when things are uncomfortable, there's a bloody good reason for it. So maybe tapping into that intuition and listening to what your body says, not your mind, because I think self-doubt is more of a condition of the mind, not necessarily something of your body or from a higher space. If you're feeling it, if you're feeling really, really uncomfortable with something, but feeling it, not thinking it, maybe that's a good reason to stay away from that. But at the same time, there's a balance there somewhere.
I think as adults and as more conscious beings, the journey really needs to be somewhat of moving to that space of becoming aware when those self-doubt moments come up, because ultimately our greatest mission is to become more aware of the beliefs, the patterns and the old cycles that no longer serve us, and be aware of what we need to grow forward. And often the self-doubt can go two ways. It can be like self-doubt of I don't know if I can jump into this thing. I don't know if I can progress and move further forward. I don't know if I'm ready or if I'm able. And that's when you need to kind of check in and feel with it. Like you said, not have it in the brain, because that's just the torturous monkey mind that can come out into play. But also then tapping into where is it sitting in my body, one. Two, what am I making it mean when that self-doubt is sitting there? Am I making this mean that I'm not good enough? Am I making this mean that someone is better than me? Is this self-doubt a sabotage pattern that's been there before? Really, I love witnessing those self-doubt moments consciously. And don't get me wrong, we all fall down the fa-la-la-la-la lane of the wormhole, the turmoil of self-doubt where you can't quite catch it. And that's okay. Don't come to judgment of that for yourself, but more about being aware of going, wow, here I am in self-doubt. Is this because I don't think I can, because I'm pedestaling someone else, or I'm over committing, or I'm overdoing things, or I'm not tapping into my truth? Am I going to self-doubt because I'm not prepared, or do I need some time and space to sit with this in the self-doubt, in that discomfort of self-doubt, and relish in that moment and see what comes up in my creative resourcefulness that, by the way, we all have? And could this self-doubt actually lead me with a bit of a nudge into a space of checking in with myself and being resourceful and compassionate for myself in that vulnerable moment, to then pull my resources and push myself into a trajectory that's much more beneficial? Or will it spiral me into a space of lack, of no productivity, of staleness, because I'm not progressing or actually utilizing it?
So again, I feel like that comes back to a balance. And the reason I look at that again is, if we boil this down to its essence and get right down to it, is it self-doubt or is it anxiety? And this is where I'm wondering. Sometimes we're going to confuse this.
The terminology of anxiety.
Well, obviously, for the point of that, so that we can all go there. But the thought is it self-doubt or is it anxiety? Now, the self-doubt is doubting in yourself and questioning that. Anxiety is just a condition of your mind, just a condition of the mind. So to overcome the conditions of your mind, It's simple things like becoming more present, doing things that bring you joy. And then you're able to attempt things with a clear mind and a consciousness so that you can power on through that anxiousness. If it's self-doubt, again, if it's self-doubt, this is something differently. You're doubting your ability. Fear is a good thing, and this is why there's a balance here again. Fear is a good thing. If you had no fear, you walk across the road and get hit by a bus. There's a level there of looking both ways. People can say these things. Take precautions and check. That's not you don't get anxious about crossing a road. You're not living in the future.
No.
That's just something you're doing. It's not a condition of the mind. That's the doubt of, if I do this with my eyes closed, I'm probably going to get hit by a car. So there's a balance here, and my point with that is, stop, calm for a minute. If you're doubting, and the whole point of this was to see how do you get past self-doubt. If you're unsure, slow down, stop. Don't just push through it. Slow down. Do the things that make you present, whatever that happens to be. If you've got a big decision to make in yourself and you're doubting yourself, go to the gym, go for a run, do your yoga.
Transmute the energy.
Slow down, still the space, and now we can actually see whether it's that living in the future, that anxiousness, which is just living in the future, whether that's why you're doubting it, whether there's 10 options or 10 different ways to go. But if you've stilled your mind a little bit, you're going to be able to think clearer in that space.
This really goes on. I had a conversation with one of our PH360 epigenetic business mentors, and he goes, "Where have you gone, Sharna? Like, what's going on? You've vanished out of the world of everything. You've gone into hibernation. What are you doing? What's going on?" And this perfectly ties into today's subject because, of course, was that everyone's question where I've gone and what I've been doing, and what I said to him was, the last 4 years, I have delved into a world of understanding humans and their capacity based on their biology, based on their belief systems, based on how their biology interacts with their environment and what that's turned on and off within them as to what they've then done, to what then come from their childhood traumas, and that's what led me to go and do, to start my NLP qualifications and hypnosis, because I realized dealing with people's biology and whatnot, there's still so many beliefs, traumas, patterns, and things that needed more nurturing and more ability for me to be able to assist my clients with. So I've spent the last 4.5, 5 years trying to be what I thought was successful in the epigenetic space, dealing with doctors and scientists and the most incredible humans in that space, and comparing myself to them. Now, I've run several online programs that have been very successful, but naturally what I found within that was that humans and their conditions, there's always someone in a group situation that will sign up and won't finish. Massive self-doubt. Will sign up, won't start. Massive self-doubt, and a whole lot of stuff underneath that. But what I found was that me, myself, if I look back through every career I've ever had, I came out of school and became an award-winning chef. I won competitions. I took my apprentices to competitions and we placed against some of the best in the industry, some of the best in our districts. I went and did mining and became one of the greatest truck drivers. I went and did personal training and then went and did bodybuilding. The biggest thing that stuffed me up in every one of those careers was my self-doubt and the torment that I put upon myself for what I expected I should have been able to achieve to be successful.
Coming back to that societal dream and what the world deems as successful.
So I realised that 6 months ago. I've realised it for a long time, but you always get busy and you get along the stuff and you forget that that's actually a pain point that's really starting to pull you and anchor you to this ceiling on what you can achieve. And so what I come to realise around Christmas time was that even though I'm so knowledgeable in humanness and genetics and relating and all that stuff and food, I always second guessed and doubted myself and my capabilities because of my own bullshit stories and my own self-doubt. And I never could get my messaging right. Every time I got on social media, I couldn't quite create something. Every time I tried to create a post, it didn't feel right. Every time I had to create a document or a program or something for someone, I never actually truly believed in what I was creating, so I could never connect to it. And I hope this resonates with a lot of you.
So my question to that is this a projection? Is this something you're projecting on and reading back as your own self-doubt. You're projecting it out there and then going, oh, maybe I'm not good enough because everyone else is in doubt. I think I'm good enough.
For years I projected all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so what I came to realize about December was I was like, I'm done projecting my expectations onto the situation and crumbling it and creating unrealistic expectations, stealing my own joy, stealing my own capabilities of loving what I'm creating, of rocking what I'm creating, of sitting in the moment and fully transmuting all of my being and energy and promise and connection to what I'm creating. I robbed that from myself till December of last year. Like literally till then, when I finally woke up and went, I'm actually done people pleasing. I'm actually done trying to stick to society's guidelines, trying to prove my worth. What if I could say, stuff everything? What if I could drop the facades, drop the tirade of bullshit I was trying to pile upon myself to try and be enough and prove and show up in all of my glory? Like surely most of you, I know a lot of you that are watching us can see the names. I know many of you have been in this boat. And so what I had to do in December was actually go, you know what? This plate's so full. Do I need it all? So I tipped everything off the plate. I sat back and I created time and space for myself to sit, to cry, to mourn, to feel, to express, to destroy. And I did. I destroyed many facets of what I was creating on that plate because I realized it wasn't there to serve me. It was there I wasn't there to serve my soul. It was there to serve my ego and my projections of what that should look like. So I was constantly stealing my joy. And now I sit in a better space than I've ever been in my life. And if I lost everything tomorrow, I said this last night, if I lost everything tomorrow, if all I could do was walk out there and go to the beach and come home and cook food, and that's all I could afford, I would be happy. Because I have that ability within myself to now, I still have self-doubt every day. Like I'm a human, small things happen, these things happen. It's a constant compounding effect of learning to love thyself in the greatest capacities possible. But the process since December has been to drop it all, create time and space so I can truly step in and feel what I'm doing, feel what I'm creating. Is this okay? Am I doing this for me and my happiness and my joy? Or am I doing this as a projection or as a people-pleasing component of the old Sharna? Am I trying to do all of these things for everyone else, or is this actually about like what I need? Because when I come to that space of what I need first, then I can truly come to a whole space where I can speak my words, I can post my posts, I can show up as a great coach and a mentor, as a partner, as a stepmom, all of these things. I can show up in all of these capacities as a whole version of myself rather than fragmenting my capabilities out of this ridiculous societal need to show up in all of these facets that were not actually serving me. Like it's time to be selfish.
So what I've heard, everything you said, first of all, balance. Comes back to balance. Secondly, determine success. Think of what it actually means to you. Find what that success actually means. The reason I say this is, this consistently comes back to successful present moments. Live fully and presently, as much as you can. It's not that bloody easy, but as much as you can. And the reason that is everything you do will become successful. The power is in the process. So if you can, come back, the whole thing here was about the self-doubt.
Yes.
If you're enjoying what you're doing, if you start bringing more joy, it doesn't matter what it is. You want to go weightlifting, and you're going, I'm looking at the end goal. You're missing the point because you might not live long enough to make it to that end goal. So enjoy the damn process. If you're enjoying the process, the self-doubt disappears because you're not looking for something that doesn't exist over here. You're already enjoying it. It is here. You're already successful in that present moment. And I think that's the point, is if we can come back, circle back, boil all this down to its bloody essence, be present, be present, stop everything you're doing. If you've got all this shit going on, like you said, this plateful, tip it out, get rid of it.
Start again.
You're better off.
There's no reason. This is the thing. Society thinks that we have to keep going, we have to keep strangling it and killing it. It's like, flog it all off. You know what? You're allowed to start again. You're allowed to go, you know what? This isn't working for me. You know what? This doesn't feel good. I'm actually going to start again. Like, that's okay.
It's all okay. All of that is okay. The thing that's not okay is to not live.
Yeah,
We're here to live.
Find the joy.
So think about living, thinking about being successful, and determinant. Our society has got us tricked, and they've sold us this bullshit lie, and we've all bought into it at some stage. To be successful, you need to have the job, the career, the education, the house, the car, the kids, the marriage. All that is bullshit and content. Throw it out. Not throw it out. But
well, you can.
my point is, that's all content. If you are not present and not enjoying your days joyfully, all that shit ain't going to fill that great big hole. So the whole thing here, again, enjoy the process. Be more present. Do things that set your soul on fire. We talked about this last night as well.
Yeah.
Do those things. Slow it down. When you've got 10,000 things to do, how good does it feel? Not real great. It's nice to have things to do when you go, oh, I've finished this and I've got somewhere else to go, because it's easier to stay present when you've got something else. If you've got 15 things on, again, that anxiousness or living in the future is going
And
to come
self-doubt.
up. If you're worried about all the things that you've just done, which is also self-doubt, that's where the depression comes in, the stuff that's in the past. And that's just too much thinking in the past. If you are here and now, that is neutral. Think about when your best ideas come up, or when you go, oh, that makes sense. You're in the shower. You're doing some of these things that you're completely present. You're sitting back reading a book, or you've just decided to sit back without the bloody TV on, sitting back, and you go, that makes sense. You're definitely sober when you get these best ideas. But in this case, the whole point is that is because you're present. When you're present, the self-doubt is going to dissipate. Maybe I'm wrong, but the way I understand it, and please give us some information.
I would change it. I mean, some people, if someone sits there and goes, all right, I'm going to be present right now. I'm going to be present right now, and I want all the ideas to come to me. You're kidding yourself. This stuff takes practice. This stuff takes, it's like a compounding effect. You're not going to get the magic right away necessarily, so you might, but be kind to yourself and make it a routine thing. Create constant space for yourself, because if you're not doing that and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling self-doubt, clearly there's too much going on, because you're not actually sitting in yourself. You're not sitting in your body. You're not sitting in your energy. You're not sitting in your truth, and you're being swept away with the current of all the bullshit around you, rather than being able to sit and be true with yourself and know what you truly want.
So my thought would be, this is a practice. So everyone can do this, and any sort of meditation is amazing. Now, when you start looking at meditation, everyone goes, oh, I can't sit down for a half an hour and meditate. But you can take 3 deep conscious breaths. You're starting to feel self-doubt? Practice 3 deep conscious breaths and count and go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Count for 7. Hold it for 2. Exhale for 9. And literally count it, so that all your mind is doing is breathing, and you're on the numbers. Inhaling 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I love that we've gone into this, which is a big thing. A lot of the clients that I deal with are more endomorph, which is what I am, an endomorph. The bigger bodies, the more robust, glorious bodies that are capable of holding so much. It's actually so beneficial for your health if you can just pause before your meals, if you can pause before a meeting, before a phone call, and take some conscious deep breaths. You will lower your cortisol response, your hormones in there that are causing all this stress. You'll relax, you'll be able to digest, or you'll be able to make clearer thoughts and clearer actions and clearer planning at work throughout your day. It's a forgotten, simple thing for our biology. If you just stop and take some deep breaths as a bigger endomorphic body, you will see so much benefit in all areas of your life.
For everyone. It's
for everyone, yes. But just us endomorphs, come on, breathe a bit more.
The interesting thing is, we get tricked into, and when we buy into, we've all bought into this societal dream and the way we should do it. Every single one of us has been told, work hard, get big results, or put no pain, no gain.
Yucky.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. Yes, there is a balance, and the key to anyone that's ever been financially successful, and I'm using that word a lot because I'm putting financially successful in it, because it is not success. It is not. But the point is, with anyone that has been, work has been a big part of what they did. They didn't get it for free. Anyone can make $1 million, but to keep it, that takes smarts. So there's not just hard work, it's hard work and good decisions daily. All of those decisions. That's just for the financial success part. But when you think about success in any which way, good decisions. Start thinking and going, you know what? Today I actually don't have time to go out and do that. Today, no, you know what?
Yeah.
You get that invite. Yes.
Have limits, have boundaries.
Have the boundaries, have the balance, and go, you know what, that's actually too much to fit in. When your boss tells you this, you say, you know what, I actually can't do that, and if you expect me to, I will get another job. And there is a billion out there, so do feel free to quit your damn job.
Yeah,
if
by the
your
way,
boss is an
plenty
arsehole.
of fish in the sea when it comes to work.
So if those things, don't sell yourself, and this is again what we talked about last night, put a value on your time. If you go, you know what, I've got to get the house clean, I've got to get kids done, I've got to get this done, I've got to get this done, cut that shit out. Cut it down. It doesn't matter. It all matters, but not much.
It all matters, but not much. And I said this today, you got to remember, you're all going to die. And I know that sounds really morbid, but you're going to die, and no one on their deathbed ever said, gee, I wish I worked harder. Gee, I wish I worked more. And so it's just remembering your life is for living, and if you're self-doubting yourself, I don't think you're having enough fun. Last night's topic was really great. If you're doubting yourself, you're not enjoying the process. If you're doubting yourself, you're not actually truly sitting in what inspires and motivates you. And maybe you need to get a teaspoon of self-love and really move forward. Or maybe you need to slow down and go outside and smell the roses. Maybe you need to step into a space of gratitude for what you actually do have and stop being an ungrateful tard. Like it's all these things where we're constantly, we're our own worst critic, and we can be so much more for ourselves. And the self-doubt comes in when you're not fully in love with yourself, I don't think.
I would also say for everyone there, that if you want to comment how much time you actually think you spend present each day.
Good question.
Because if this is a big one and you really have to delve into this, and I'm going to be honest, I do a lot of this sort of stuff, and I'm reckon there's 24 hours a day, and we're not going to include the sleep time because you're not present when you're sleeping. So for 12 hours a day that I'm awake, I'm going to say 5% of that time I am present. And you know what the thing about that is? It's not enough.
No.
It is bloody not enough. We all need to do more. Even 50%
I'm actually
would
looking
not
at
be
this
enough.
book here. He's been trying to read this book for a long time. By the way, Osho, great read. I'm going to read this one next. But just looking at that,
slow reader.
as we're talking, I was like, remembering, we've got books each that we still haven't read that we both keep saying, God, if we're going to make more time to read books. These are the sort of things of presence. If you're self-doubting, it's probably the fact that you're not spending the time in bliss of things like reading a book or doing some gardening or
Whatever
walking on the beach or whatever it is.
5% of the day is not much, and it's not enough. But I can guarantee, and this is no ego, I probably spend more time practicing it than a lot of the population. So my point there is that definitely helps me, and we noticed it this morning. Because it's been raining, we've had some things on. I haven't done a big yoga practice, like a hard session, in a little while. And this morning, I had anxiety. I'm sitting there and going, what the hell is this feeling? Because I don't often get it, because I hadn't been spending enough time present. I come back, I did my yoga, it was done. So that's, again, that difference. Is it self-doubt? Is it that anxious feeling? Again, we don't really buy into that. But the point is, that was there, and it comes back to me quite often. I was thinking when we were leaving today, I was like, how I don't know how people don't or don't do something about it. If I lived like that every day, yeah, I can understand the depression, the suicidal thoughts, all of those things quite easily, because that's a shit spot to live. We came in, I did some yoga, and we fixed it. So the point of this was, how do you deal with self-doubt? For me, it's yoga and meditation and those sorts of things that force you to be present. So it's all a shortcut, all of those things, because the reality of it is meditating for an hour a day, like again, 5% of your day is not enough. So that is 5% of that day is close to an hour and a half, hour 45. My maths isn't playing with me real well today.
Better than I am.
Hour and a half. Try and meditate for an hour and a half as a beginner. It's not going to happen.
It doesn't happen.
It's not going to happen. You'll do worse. You'll actually feel worse because that's unrealistic.
And then you judge yourself on the perceived failure of that. So it's more about setting tangible small steps. Is it riding the bike? Is it cleaning up the socks off the floor? Is it putting things away from the dishwasher? What is it that brings those bits of joy? What is it, those things that bring those bits of satisfaction, that fill your cup, that bring you to a humble space of gratitude? Those are the things that are going to help you transmute this self-doubt energy. and give yourself the capabilities of actually achieving more and being more grateful for the things that you do actually achieve. That's the other part of what I wanted to say earlier, was that the other thing is so many of us are so busy reaching for that thing over there that they're not actually celebrating the steps along the way. They're not actually being grateful and appreciative of what they are achieving each and every moment, so that they're robbing themselves of the joy of the process. And you just said that before. Fall in love with the process, not the end result, because you never know if you're ever going to get that. So be grateful, be happy, be present with this whole process along the way. And if you get there, kudos.
Well, you're already successful. If you are joyfully doing the process, you are already successful. And I've said this for a long time. People that are financially successful, it's easy to gauge because we all understand this, they didn't become successful. They always were. All of them were. The same
It's a
people.
state of mind.
It's that they're doing it. You want to have a look at the best that are doing, well, it doesn't matter what it is, you want to see the best basketball player. Watch the way they do it. When they take the shot, they're not sitting there all tense. All their muscles are not tense. They sort of just go up and go, boom. It looks so damn easy because they're so damn present. And I can watch anyone do whatever it is their best. I can watch an accountant do their paperwork. The best accountant in the world, guarantee they will be absolutely present. The best golfer, they are not thinking about their tax. All of these things, doesn't matter. You want to be the best, it's because you're already successful. Find what brings you joy and do that. Don't go, you know what? My mum and dad, my mum was a school teacher, my dad was a builder, this and that. I've got to be I've got to be a successful builder. If you damn well hate that, you're never going to be successful. You're going to be the shittiest at that you can possibly be. So find
what brings you joy.
Find you. Ask yourself that question. I said that last night. Ask yourself the question. Who are you? What do you want? How much time do you want to spend in presence? What is going to work for you? Because that's your superpower, is you.
Yeah, just do you. My favourite saying, just do you. I think that's
it.
Yeah, that's it. Love to hear your thoughts, guys. There'll be more.
I want to see how present people think they are.
Yeah, tell us about how present you are. What are you doing to be present? When do you find you are the most present?
Yeah.
For me, it's always driving my car or when I'm in the shower.
How is that on?
Stop it. Guys, not for now.